Alright lads, I'm actually quite excited for you to see this. I don't know why, maybe just because it's different than the norm, but I just thought it was pretty fun to film and I think you're going to genuinely enjoy it. Plenty Sláinte Lads t-shirts left for sale on gurumerch.com and I'll have loads of hoodies back again soon. And I want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, a new sponsor, YouGov. In essence, it's an easy way to earn cash just by sharing your opinions, lads. So you take online surveys to earn points and get cash rewards. YouGov has polls and surveys about pop culture, politics, products and brands. And if you feel like you're wasting your time scrolling through social media every day, we all do it. You can use that time to take 2 or 3 surveys a day, get a bit of extra cash for a few extra points. So I can give my opinion on topics that matter to me and get paid to do it. You can take surveys while you're scratching your arse on your break in work, commuting on the bus or the train, or even just waiting in line in the bleeding shops. So I wanted to see what it's all about, so I actually did a couple of surveys myself and used the money to pay for the pints in today's video. So thanks again YouGov for sponsoring the video, and lads, click the link in the description to start making money now. How are you lads? I'm on the fly here. It's a beautiful morning in Dublin city centre. Sun is shining. It was pissing rain about an hour ago. I was actually going to pussy out on this video, but I'm here now. Have you ever heard the term early house? I don't know if it's an Irish term or what, but it basically means a pub that has a license to sell alcohol from like 7 or 8 in the morning. There's very few, they used to be a lot more popular I think back in the day. There's very few of them left in Dublin city. I'm going to attempt to hit, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to attempt to hit 2 or 3 of them within a close enough-ish vicinity. So everybody I'm walking by is heading to work. It's a Tuesday morning and I suppose I'm technically heading to work. This is my job now, believe it or not. So first pub is called the Windjammer. I believe it opened at 7 o'clock, but I'm here at 9 and let's see what happens. And I suppose you're probably wondering, why go to the pub so early in the morning? Again, sorry if it's windy, hope you can hear me. Why go to the pub so early in the morning? I don't know, usually I go at like between like 2 and 6 o'clock when I go to the towns, and it's always nice and quiet. I'm just interested to see if there be any mad characters at this time in the morning. Someone, a mate of mine, I don't actually really listen to it, but a mate of mine told me about the Tommy and Hector podcast. They said something, they love the morning porter or something like that. Maybe they talk about it hitting differently or something like that. So, I don't know, I thought I'd be thinking like, geez, I've no interest in going drinking pints at that hour in the morning, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Does that sound like something an alcoholic would say? Yes, but yeah. I've always just wanted to do this video. I thought it'd be funny. Could be shit, but we will soon find out. Right, pub 1 is the Windjammer. Does not look too open to me. I could be wrong, lads. I see a side door, a sneaky open side door. Looks great. No, it's perfect. Yeah, sound. Yeah, 100%.
Too many wires hanging out behind your head. See that there? The wires behind your head.
No, you can't even see them. It literally stops here.
Oh, does it? Okay,
yeah, it's only about here. Like.
Yeah. Okay. Unless RPE is paying for it. But you know what? He's not showing anything there.
Right, lads, the Windjammer. I think for obvious reasons, I'm not going to get loads of B-roll at the pubs. I don't want to. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to get anyone in trouble being in the background of the pub. So you're just going to have to imagine. Maybe I can describe the pub to you, but I'm not going to whip the camera around and lads sitting there in work uniforms and stuff, drinking pints when maybe they shouldn't be. But sure, listen. Pretty cool pub. This is funny, I have to try to explain it. Pretty cool pub, kind of quite an 80s vibe off it. Barman was actually saying I'll show you the pint. It's taken ages to settle, which I like. Taking ages to settle, so I'll give it another sec before I drink it, but it looks good. Old style glass, perfect temperature. Head maybe a tiny bit small, but looks good. 1 or 2 bubbles in the head, but all around looks like a very solid pint. I'm going to take a sup now and I'll continue to explain the look of this pub because I can't show you. Sláinte lads, it is 9:34 in the morning. and I am actually looking forward to this pint, which is funny. I'll tell you what, lads, I don't know why I thought it was gonna just be gross at this time in the morning, but that is lovely. Whatever that thing I was talking about, morning porter, I must look into that, the Tommy and Hector thing. One of my mates said it to me. But to be honest, we've all been there, like on a stag or on a big trip. Like I used to go on rugby trips, and you'd be in the pub at, maybe not 9, but you'd be in the pub at 10, 11 the next morning, and like the pints don't taste any different than they do at 4 or 5 in a day. Do you know what I mean? So it's fucking decent, solid pint. I don't know why that surprised me so much. I expected it, because these pubs weren't recommended as Guinness pubs. It wasn't even like they were recommended. It's just there's only about 4 or 5 pubs in Dublin that open at that 8 or 9 o'clock time slot. And even on the outside I thought it was going to be like, oh, they say 7 a.m, but it's bullshit, it's closed. But you go around the side and there's actually people in here enjoying themselves. So it's a weird concept. It nearly feels like wrong. But I suppose if you can come in here and have your 2 or 3 pints and go off and go about your day, then what's the issue? But like, I can see why people would think it's weird, but like, this is fucking lovely. I'm not gonna speak for this whole video about whether I think it's right or wrong to open a pub at that hour of the morning. I'm gonna tell you, if you just happen to want a pint at that hour of the morning, where to get one in Dublin. I'm very pleasantly surprised with that. Very pleasantly surprised. Also, barman gave me the pint for free. Tried to pay. I'll try to get the price. I wonder does the price like increase throughout the day or what? But yeah, interesting one. I'll try to get the price. I know it's something I'm always forgetting. Boss man, can I ask you the price of it? £4.90. Is it going up? What is it going up 20 cent? Everywhere is going up 20 cent, isn't it?
Yeah, just say £5.
Yeah, grand, sound. Yeah, £5 for the pint, bang on. I think all the prices are going up soon or something in Ireland by 20 cent or something, but for now it's a £5. Yeah, just a big open pub. I don't know why I expected it to be, I don't know, a bit rougher looking or something, but like it looks, it's one of those that looks like it hasn't been done up in a long time, but it's kept very clean. And I couldn't care less. Sure, like the Gravediggers is the same interior for the last 150 years, but they keep it clean, so that's all I care about. I don't want brand new couches, brand new furniture and stuff. Once it's clean, I'm happy out. Let's score this pint. I'm very, very happy with it. Usually I would have had my breakfast and my lunch, possibly my dinner before I go drinking pints. I've literally had a coffee and a bowl of Weetabix about an hour ago, and now I'm onto the Guinness. It's technically work, lads. It's 9:30 in the morning. Most of yous are in the office or on the building site. What's the difference between that and me being in a pub? It's for work, I swear. Stick, very good. I can't give that any less than an 8.2 out of 10, lads. This is a very good pint. Very happy with it. Nothing majorly wrong with it. Could have been, people are always like, well, if it's an 8.2, then what's wrong with it? Do you know what I mean? And I don't really usually say what's wrong with it. Maybe it could have been tiny bit thicker, tiny bit creamier, but like, it's still a beautiful, beautiful pint. 8.2 out of 10 for a Windjammer. Pub 2, Malloys. Let's have it large, lads. Looks open. And funny story, I was actually, when I was painting, I remember like 7 o'clock, we were painting that coffee shop, and we were looking at these mad bastards going in here because they were on the rollover, so they were going straight into Malloys at like 7 in the morning. And now here I am about a year later, going in myself. Life's a bit mad, lads, isn't it? Right lads, Malloys, nice and cozy in here, the jumper's off. We've got an absolute creamy looking pint. The woman, the manager behind the bar was like, yeah, no, we're known for our Guinness, just ask the customers. I was like, I will not be going and bothering any customers with a bloody camera in my hand. But look at the head on that. Serious bit of Domeo and Juliet, Dom or Simpson. We're getting some really good Dome phrases, for lack of a better word, in lately. One or two bubbles in the head, but looks borderline perfect. People always talk about the non-branded glass. Personally, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think it's just a case of, I presume the brand has just washed off. The glass has been used that many times, but that's fine with me once it's clean. Looks literally perfect, lads. Just launch it. Good gear that, good gear that. It's funny, initial thoughts is the one in the Windjammer had a slightly smaller head but was slightly creamier. This one is relatively creamy but not as kind of thick and rich as the one in the Windjammer. It's a slightly more bitter, and again, I know it's a bitter drink, but yeah, Windjammer was slightly more tasty on first thoughts. Pint isn't anywhere near finished. Also, this is really random, but I do like to I remember before I got just a comment about, do you like the pint to be settled before it gets to you or non-settled? So now in the comments, I want you to tell me, this is really specific from a guy who's drank a lot of pints. When you drink it, do you just kind of hold it in your hands like that with this part of your hand not touching it, or do you kind of rest it on that part of your hand and then it's more of a like, this is more of a sideways, this is more of a straight back, but it's something I've noticed lately, like it's kind of easier to nearly rest it on that. You don't have to grip it with your fingers then. We're getting into real detail now. Yeah, another decent pint, lads. Another very decent pint. So this pub is like really close to like the Busaurus. If you're not from Ireland, you're not going to know what any of this means, but it's close to the Busaurus kind of big station. It's right under the dart line, so every kind of 10 minutes it's like but I suppose if you lived around here you just get used to it. But yeah, even the clientele in here, it's, again, I'm not going to go with the camera around the pub because I don't need to repeat myself. It's just different. It's one thing going around the pub on a Saturday or a Thursday or Friday at 4 or 5 o'clock. Like, no one cares if maybe their face is in the video, but if it's at 9 or 10 in the morning on a Tuesday, that's just unfair if someone's fucking face is in the video and then God knows who could see and who knows. But anyway, I'm having a great time. It's a lovely pub, just a very normal traditional pub, nearly like 50s. I always try to guess the decade that the decor is from. I'm going to say like 50s, 60s, 60s, 70s here. Just all kind of panelled walls, and just, yeah, pretty much every part of the pub is like varnished wood, which as a former painter decorator, pain in the absolute hole. But no, it's lovely. Just a really nice cozy pub, and it's roasting here and it's freezing outside, so what more could you ask for? Cold Guinness and nice cozy pub. They even gave me the snug here to myself. Probably so I wouldn't be filming anyone else realistically, but snugs are always great because the light comes in on my face, but you don't give a fuck about that, do you? Just drink that fucking thing. Alright, so another very solid pint. I'm trying these days with the scoring system just to compare it to my last pint. My last pint was in the Windjammer. That was a really good pint. That was an 8.2. This is a very good pint. Not up there with the Windjammer. I'm gonna go just below the 8s. I'm gonna go 7.9. Malloys still a very respectable score. Just thought the Windjammer was a little bit creamier and just kind of all around tastier. But yeah, if I was to compare the actual pubs, I probably slightly prefer the setup of this pub. but the pint in the Windjammer was slightly better. So yeah, 7.9 Malloys, what a spot. Right lads, I'm going to finish the video here. I was going to go to one more, but I think the novelty is kind of worn off now. It's like nearly 11 a.m. So it's not exactly like 7 o'clock in the morning drinking pints. And also, and also, full transparency, my bus stop is like right beside the pub I've just been in, and the last pub I was going to go to is like a good mile away. So I'd probably have to get a taxi there and then get a taxi back to the bus. And I just don't really see the benefit of doing one more pub at like 11:30 in the morning. So yeah, two pubs, the Windjammer and Malloys. I think the Windjammer takes it slightly, but Malloys maybe a slightly nicer pub in my opinion. I've had a great time. I didn't know what to expect. I got a lot of messages from people on Instagram, so make sure you follow the Instagram lads. I always I'm doing live updates, so you'll see the video a few days later, but I'm always doing live updates when I'm here. And I got a lot of messages on Instagram saying like a big reason why these pubs are open at that time, because a lot of people do night shifts. So if you work till 6-7 in the morning, then that's nearly like your after work pint, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, of course, going for a pint after work if you've done a night shift. So you could be a nurse, you could be in the police, you could be any fucking factory job working night shifts. So people think, oh, it's just bloody alcoholics going to get their fix at 7 in the morning. It's not. It's a lot of people who have done the night shift going for a cheeky after work pint. Yeah, it's ridiculously windy. You probably can't even hear me, so I'm going to let you go, lads. Big shout out to YouGov for sponsoring the video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck.